Now that we're in the middle of summer and temperatures around much of the country are really, really hot, the way to beat the heat is to hit the water. Our gadget guru, Pargh, is doing just that, but in his case, he's on the water testing some personal watercrafts at the Sanabel Harbor Resort and Spa in Fort Myers, Florida. Andy, hello.
Hey, Katie, how are you?
Good.
Hey, here's an interesting fact for you. 4 out of every 5 boats sold this year will be of the personal watercraft variety. These things have really grown in popularity over the past few years.
Tell me about some of them, Andy. One you've got right there.
Okay, this is to show you basically how these things work. If you notice, you have a motorcycle-style handlebar, motorcycle-style seat, and some models you can seat up to 3 people on these. But they have a hole on them, and the hole allows you, a place to put your feet and a place to steer around. But the trick to these things is underneath the seat you have a jet engine. It's a gasoline-powered engine, but it draws water in from the lake, or in this case the ocean, pulls it up through the engine and propels it out through this unit right here. Now this not only gives you speed, but it gives you the steering mechanisms on here. So they're a blast to ride. Now these things got started about 20 years ago in 1974 when Kawasaki introduced the first jet ski. This unit right here is from Yamaha, and here's Steve Lawler. He's going to give us a demo on this thing.
Hello,
now here's
Steve.
How these things work. Check him out. He's going to get it started. You start off on your knees on this thing, then you stand up. Now check this out. Is that thing a lot of fun?
Wow.
These units right now are really for the athletic oriented.
I was going to say, Andy, I didn't help but notice Steve seems to be in very good shape. Do you have to be, really toned to be able to ride one of those things?
Yes, for a unit like that, that really takes a lot of work. I rode one yesterday for about 15 minutes. Took a 2-hour nap afterwards. It's a lot of work, but this is for the younger group. It's also used a lot in competition. But Katie, not to worry, for people like you and me, we have these.
Hey. Don't put me in that category necessarily.
Oh, okay, we'll get you out here on one of those. You'll have a blast.
All right, great.
Well, these are family-oriented units. So we have a unit here from Sea Doo and a unit from Yamaha. Now you notice it's still the motorcycle type of handlebar, but you can seat up to 3 people on here. They even have areas for storage. You can put your suntan lotion or sunscreen in here, put some cold drinks in there, life preservers, a lot of storage. Let's take off with these things. You start them with the push of a button. They just take right off. Very, very easy to do. And this is the type of unit that you can spin around in circles with, really have a lot of fun, and they're just about impossible to hurt yourself because if you fall off, you get back in. They have tethers that are on your arm that attach to it, so if you fall off, the units will stop. So you don't have to worry about it ending up in Mexico.
So Andy, you're saying they're pretty safe?
They're real safe. Now, this is probably one of the safest units out there. This unit is from Kawasaki. It's called the SC. Notice how you seat on this one side by side, kind of like a Surrey. It's an ultra-wide hull on this thing, so then that way it's a lot smoother and a lot easier to maneuver. Units like that sell for about $6,000.
$6,000? Wow.
Yes, but hey, check these out. This is for the radical bunch for us out here. These are what you call the hot rods. They're ultra-high performance units. They're units here from Sea Doo and Kawasaki and Yamaha. Now these things have up to 70 horsepower engines and they can cruise at 50 miles an hour. Now trust me, that's fast. But what makes them high performance is their hull. It's a V-hull that really grips the water, goes around. You can do a slalom course on something like that. Really a lot of fun.
Andy, how much would one of those puppies sell for?
Those things are a little bit upwards of $6,000. And Katie, for that price you have to think about it. A lot of engineering goes to these units because when you're cruising around the water at that speed, you want them to be safe. And safety is probably the #1 factor that has really come into play in these units over the past few years. Okay, but here's the latest generation personal jet boats. This unit right here is from Sea Doo. It's called the Explorer. Inside, it's like one of the personal watercraft. It has the handlebars and the motorcycle type seat, but it has a wider hull and the soft inflatable pontoon area. So it's easy to dock, and the best thing about it, you can add more passengers to your fun. Let's do it. And also on these units, something like that, great for the fishermen who might want to get into that shallow cove because it only takes to about 6 to 10 inches of water to use any of these things. Very simple to do. Now, this is probably the most radical one out here. Oops.
Are you okay, Andy?
Whoa!
Be careful.
This unit is from Baylinee here. Now, this looks like a real boat, and it's because it is. Baylinee is one of the largest manufacturers of boats in the world. And what they did, and this is the first year for this, the Baylinee Jazz, it has the jet engine just like all the other units, but it gives you seating for 3 in here. Enough room on the front for somebody to lay down, catch some rays. And this is the one I was driving earlier in the show today. And you can spin around on it, really have a lot of fun. It's virtually impossible to tip. Trust me, I tried.
Really? Now, Andy, before you ski into the sunset or into the sunrise, can you rent some of these boats in some places around the country?
Yes, you can, and the prices will vary. Oops. Sometimes, you know, it can be as low as, you know, $40 to $50 per hour. You can get them for day rates, $125 to $250, depending on where you are. That's usually a real good alternative to buying one of these things. So this way you can test them to see which one you might like before you invest the big bucks in
But there are a lot of people out there, are you okay, Andy, who are actually buying these?
Well, as I said before, 1 out of every 5 boat sales these years is going to be personal watercraft. They're really hot, you know, because if you think about it, it's about the third of a price of a regular boat. You can water ski behind just about any of these units, and it's a real high fun factor without having to have a lot of skill involved in learning how to ride these things.
Okay, Andy, you're obviously the picture of grace out there. Why don't you tell them, let it rip?
Okay, what we're going to do, you ready? Let's go and take the slack out. We're going to see if you really can ski behind this.
A slalom, no less.
Oh, we're going to try.
Oh.
We tried.
Nice try, Andy.
Hey, you can't win them all.
All right. Thanks a lot, Andy. Have fun. Looks like you are already.
I'll see you later.
We'll be back in a moment, but first, this is Today on NBC.